everyone. Before we get into our comprehension quiz, I want to share a game with you that you can easily play at home. All you need is a few pieces of paper, something to write with, and some sort of small objects to place on the game board, such as pennies, cereal, raisins. Anything small should work. I'm going to show you how to play vocabulary bingo. You need to decide who is going to be the caller or the host. Everyone else will get to mark off their bingo boards to try to win. First, the caller needs to write down all the vocabulary words on separate slips of paper and place them face down. You can use any words, but we are going to use our vocabulary words from our story this week, The Great Kapok Tree. So we have hesitated, fragrant, murmur, wither, dappled, lulled, depend, canopy, feast, and wondrous. We have 10 vocabulary words for our story, but for your game board, you will only need 9 words. So you might not use all of the vocabulary words from the week. Let me flip my camera around so you can see how I'm going to draw out the game board. Okay, next. Each player needs their own piece of paper and a marker, pen, something to write with. You will need to draw a 3x3 array with squares on your paper. So I'm going to draw 2 lines down the middle, and 2 across. So you should have a 3x3 array. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's just our bingo board. Next, all players need to fill in each box with a different vocabulary word. Doesn't matter which order you put them in, but you want them to be different from the other players. Okay, once each player has their board filled out, they are good to start the game. Like I said, you need something to mark off when a word is called, just like bingo. So, cereal, I'm going to get some pennies to show you. The caller will start by choosing one of their word cards. Remember, these should be face down, so they can just pick one. They can say the word if you're playing with younger children, so they could say wondrous. And if I have that on my board, I can just mark it off. And then wait for the next word to be called. Hesitated. Or you can switch it up if you're working with upper elementary students. So you can say something like, give me a synonym, or this word is a synonym for whisper. So I'm going to look at my board and I'm going to try to find a word that means the same thing as whisper. I know that murmur means about the same thing as whisper, so I'll mark that off. The first person to get 3 in a row wins. Okay, so you can change this game up however you want. think it's a fun and easy way to play, and the words can be switched out every week. You can even take turns being the player and the caller. It's up to you how you want to play this game, but I hope you enjoy it. Make sure, too, that you clean up, kids, when you're all done playing. Okay, let's dive into our quiz. There are 7 questions from our story, The Great Kapok Tree. I will read the question and answers to you and give you time to choose the answer you think is correct. Then I will tell you the right response. You can keep score of how many you get right. You might want a separate sheet of paper to make tally marks when you get a question correct. If you don't remember an answer, feel free to go back to the previous video and listen to the story again. Our first question is, what is the setting of the Great Kapok Tree? Is it A, Australia, B, Canadian forest, C, African jungle, or D, Amazon rainforest? I'll give you a minute to choose the best answer. Okay, the correct answer is D, the Amazon rainforest. The whole book, The Great Kapok Tree, was about the rainforest and saving the trees and the animals. Question 2. What did the bigger man instruct the other man to do? Was it A, kill the animals, B, cut down the tree, C, protect his territory, or D, trap a jaguar? The correct answer was B, cut down the tree. Make sure you're keeping track of your score. There's 7 questions total. If you remember from the cover of our story, the man had an axe, and the whole time the animals were trying to talk him out of chopping down the tree, because at the beginning he was whacking it with his axe. Question 3. What does the bee tell the man? A, her hive is in the tree. B, she pollinates trees and flowers. C, all living things depend on each other. Or D, all of the above. The correct answer is D, all of the above. The bee tells the sleeping man all of these things in the story. If you have all of them correct so far, good job. Question 4. How do the monkeys get down the tree? Do they A, jump, B, slither, C, scamper, or D, slide? The correct answer is C, scamper. Remember, that helped us visualize how they get down the tree. Question 5. The birds are able to show a bit of the future to the man. How are they able to know all of this? A, they hear voices. B, they can fly over the forest and see deforestation in action. C, they are smarter than the other animals. Or D, all of the above. The correct answer is B. They can fly over the forest and see deforestation in action. I actually want to go back in the book and read that page again, so hang tight so I can put the book under the camera. Okay, this page says, a toucan, a macaw, and a cock of the rock flew down from the canopy. Senor, squawked the toucan, you must not cut down this tree. We have flown over the rainforest and seen what happens once you begin to chop down the trees. Many people settle on the land. They set fires to clear the underbrush, and soon the forest disappears. Where once there was life and beauty, only black and smoldering ruins remain. So the birds can see what's happening in other parts of the forest. They talk about men chopping down the trees, people are settling on the land and building, and then they're setting fire to clear out all of the things that they cut down, and then soon the forest is gone. So they're trying to give a warning to the sleeping man not to chop down this tree because many things in the forest are being destroyed. Okay, next question. I believe this is question 6. The anteaters have their young on their backs. How does this relate to their message? A, they warn the man of the children of the future. B, they cry and ask him not to kill her children. C, they ask him to watch their babies. Or D, none of the above. Okay, the correct answer was A. They warn the man of the children of the future. Let's go back in the book and check to see why A was the correct answer. Several anteaters climbed down the kapok tree with their young clinging to their backs. The unstriped anteater said to the sleeping man, Senor, you are chopping down this tree with no thought for the future. And surely you know that what happens tomorrow depends upon what you do today. The big man tells you to chop down a beautiful tree. He does not think of his own children, who tomorrow must live in a world without trees. So the anteaters are worried, and they try to warn the man that if they chop down the tree, kids in the future won't have any trees around them. Okay, last question. When the man wakes up from his nap, he is scared of all the animals around him. Is that true or false? The answer is false. He's not afraid of the animals. I think that they helped him understand and made him change his mind about chopping down the tree. How'd you do? Did you get all 7 questions correct? I hope so. I'm challenging you to write a letter, create a poster or slideshow explaining the importance of saving the rainforest. What did you learn from the story, The Great Kapok Tree? You might want to do some research on your Chromebook. Remember to use true facts. I'm going to write a poem for my Save the Rainforest project. You can watch along with me. Okay, my first step in my project is T. Teach others about the importance of the environment and how they can help save rainforest. The next letter in my poem is going to be R for restore. Restore damaged ecosystems by planting trees on land where forests have been cut down. E for encourage. Encourage people to live in a way that doesn't hurt the environment. I have another E for establish. Establish parks to protect rainforests and wildlife. And my last letter will be an S for support. Support companies that operate in ways that minimize damage to the environment. So here's my poem. It's an acrostic, so we have the word trees. So help save the rainforest, just focus on trees. I can't wait to see your projects, slideshows. Maybe you might do a poem. You could do a video, a song. Be creative and share them either on Facebook or you can email me. I'm looking forward to our next story and I hope you tune in. Thanks.